Company's plant and machinery was 3,000 lakhs as on 1/4/15, which includes 500 lakh of imported asset, which is a component of a plant and machine for 1/4/2015 and would be obsolete in 2 years. So we'll write the opening balance on 1/4/15 to balance brought down 3,000 lakhs. Now we have to provide depreciation till 31/3/17. 2 years information is to be shown. First of all, this 3,000 lakhs minus 500, 2,500 lakhs will depreciate by WDV at the rate of 15%. So credit side 31/3/16 by depreciation 2,500 into 15% plus. This 500 lakhs will provide by SLM method because it's going to become obsolete in 2 years. So 500 divided by 2, that is 250. Now 2,500 into 15% is 375.
Yes.
Plus 250, that is
575.
375 plus 250 is 625.
625.
Did everyone understand? Then give comment. Okay, first of all, the balancing will be 3,000 minus 625, 2,375, 31/3/16 by balance carried down, 1/4/16 to balance brought down, 2,375. Now here in bracket you must show 2,375 comprises of which amount, so that it helps us in calculating depreciation. Like for example, one machine was 2,500. On that the depreciation is 375. So 2,500 minus 375, 2,125. Okay, the other machine was
500.
500 minus its depreciation
250.
250. So that is 250. How does this 2,375 comprise of? One machine of
2,125.
and another machine of 250. Understood this? Okay, show this in bracket. Once again, how did we get, like here also you can show this comprises of 2,500 plus 500. So how did we get this 2,125?
New first machine.
2,500
Into
minus 375. 2,125. And how did we get this 250? 500 minus 250. But everyone? Now again on 31/3/17 will provide depreciation. Now here one machine we have to depreciate by WDV method.
Yes.
So the first machine which we have to depreciate by WDV method, on that the book value is 2,125. So 2,125 into 15% plus the other one is going to remain same every year, 500 divided by 2, that is 250. Obsolete in 2 years, so second machine will completely become nil. Okay. Now what is this 2,125 into 15%? 319 plus 250, 569. So total depreciation of both the machines will be 569. Now 2,375 minus 569. This is entirely of that machine one by balance carried down, because second machine has become obsolete. So this balance is entirely of machine one. Did everyone understand this? So anyone who did not understand any calculations, raise your hand. Yes, now also it was asked that give comments, because company can do so or not, means company should provide it separately or not. So write down, as per AS 10 revised, any significant component or part has a separate useful life, depreciation should be calculated separately on the useful part. Okay. First of accordingly on imported asset, depreciation is provided by SLM, and on remaining is provided by SLM, straight line method, and on remaining PPE it's provided by WDV. On remaining PPE it's provided by WDV. Understood this? Now look at page number 6. So we had done until depreciation, Now look at depreciable amount on page number 6. And this question was based on those last 2 points. Okay, depreciation's last 2 points where a significant part can be separately identified. The depreciation should be calculated separately. Now depreciable amount. The depreciable amount of an asset shall be allocated over its useful life on systematic basis. Factors to be considered. Expected usage assessed by reference to expected capacity or physical output. Expected physical wear and tear depends on operational factors, example, number of shifts, repairs and maintenance program, etc. Technical obsolescence arising from changes or improvements is one word, in production or changes in market demand for product or service output. Legal or similar units on use, example, expiry dates of related leases. Asset management policy may involve disposal of assets after a specified time, therefore, useful life may be shorter than economic life. And repair and maintenance policy may also affect useful life, example, by extending it or increasing residual value, but do not negate the need of depreciation, means the depreciation is still needed. So which are the factors which affect depreciation? In the first point underline, physical expected capacity or physical output, and also like usage. See, usage more than the physical capacity will result in more depreciation.
Yes.
So if suppose a machine can be used for 5 hours but you use it for 8 hours, then the depreciation on that machine will increase. Then next like physical wear and tear, then obsolescence, legal use, means maybe the life is more. But like you have taken a lease, you have taken a lease of 10 years, then you have to write off depreciation for only 10 years. And like management policy and repair and maintenance policy. These are the factors which affect depreciation. Okay. Now what is residual value? It is the estimated value of depreciable assets at the end of its useful life, means scrap value. After 10 years, 15 years, when the asset's life is over, then it will be sold at what estimated scrap value, that is called estimated residual. Depreciable amount is net of residual value, C minus X. How is to calculate depreciation? C minus S upon it. So C minus S is called depreciable amount. Residual value is often insignificant and immaterial to the calculation of depreciable amount. Like if asset is of 5 lakhs, residual value will only be 10,000 suppose. So residual value is very insignificant. Okay, compared to the main cost, it is very insignificant. Depreciation is always recognized even if fair value exceeds the carrying amount, except when residual value is greater than the carrying amount, in which case the depreciation charge is 0. Depreciation method. Now depreciation commences when an asset is available for use. Depreciation ceases at the earlier of the date of the asset, that is derecognized and held for disposal. When will you stop providing depreciation? Once asset is not derecognized, means not recognized in the books of accounts, or you have kept it for disposal, say you're not going to use it, then you will stop providing depreciation. Depreciation does not cease when an asset is idle or retired from active use unless it is fully depreciated. However, depreciation may be 0 under the units of production method. Land and building. Now, land we don't provide depreciation, but building we may provide depreciation. These are separable assets and are separately accounted for, even when they are acquired together. Land normally has an unlimited useful life and is therefore not depreciated. Buildings normally have a limited useful life and are depreciable assets. Where land has limited useful life, example landfill, site, mine, quarry, it is depreciated. Now depreciation methods. Which are the various methods of depreciation? One is straight line, constant charge over the useful life. Second is diminishing balance, decreasing charge over the useful life. Third is sum of units, charge based on expected use or output. Then review periodically and a significant change method to reflect the change in pattern of consumption of future benefits. account for a change in accounting estimate and adjust depreciation charge for current and future period. Now listen carefully. There's a very important change which has taken place in AS 10 revised. Remember earlier we have done the question where we studied the points that when can we change the method of depreciation. Generally a method of depreciation should not be changed. It can be changed only when it is required by law, it is required by standard, or it is for more appropriate presentation of financial statements. Then we said, if there is a change in method of depreciation, then changes should be made from retrospective effect, from the beginning. And for past years, whatever change results in surplus or deficiency, surplus will credit to P&L account, deficiency will debit to P&L. So I used to tell you, see the old depreciation. If old is more, it is surplus, credit, and old is less, then it is deficiency. So retrospective effect. Now the standard has changed. Instead of retrospective effect, you have to make the changes from prospective effect. Prospective effect means suppose last 5 years you are providing depreciation by SLM. From current year you want to provide by RBM. Don't make any changes in the last 5 years. Directly start providing by RBM current year over. Means all those questions were based on that. Now those questions, no surplus is to be obtained, no deficiencies to be obtained. It's simple calculation. First 5 years do by SLM, 6th year onwards do by RBM. That's it. So instead of retrospective effect, now you have to do it by prospective. It's become very simple in fact. Did you understand this question earlier? But then those all questions you have to make the changes. Instead of retrospective, you have to calculate by prospective. Anyway, those kind of questions this year are not done in college only. But in case if you want to solve those questions, then those workings will change. So, a depreciation method that is based on revenue that is generated by an activity that includes use of an asset is not appropriate. The revenue generated by an activity that includes the use of an asset generally reflects factors other than the consumption of economic benefits of asset. For example, revenue is affected by other inputs and processes, selling activities and change in sales volume and prices. The price component of revenue may be affected by inflation, which has a bearing upon the way in which an asset is consumed. Now see this review of depreciation methods. In the notebook now, write down this point. Change in method of depreciation. Any change in method of depreciation, should be treated with prospective effect, and depreciation should be adjusted, for only current and future periods. Understood? Means depreciation is to be adjusted only for current and future periods. No past changes. So, like if you see question number 7, there's the last question remaining. See here. A limited depreciated a plant, not a plain made plant, under 2 different methods as under. So 5 years depreciation is given or required. First, if A Limited followed WDV for the first 4 years and decides to switch over to SLM, what would be the amount of resultant surplus or deficiency? First of all, no surplus or deficiency.
Yes.
No surplus or deficiency. If you are providing by WDV, then for first 4 years the depreciation will be 10.69, 7.9, 5.84 and 4.32. From 5th year onwards 3.9. From 5th year onwards 3.9. That's it. Did you understand this, everyone? No, rather. Yes. Means from 5th year onwards you will start providing by straight line method. And if you are providing by option B, first by SLM method, then first 4 years it will remain 3.9. 5th year onwards, not 3.9, whatever is the rate of depreciation, 15.6 into that percentage of depreciation as per WDV. Whatever is the percentage of depreciation by WDV, that will be calculated. Did you understand this? So, as per AS 10 revised, if there is change in the method of depreciation, then it should be treated with prospective effect, and changes should be made only for current period and future period. Only for current period and future period. Did you understand this? Now below that option A, just before option A right now. Therefore, no surplus or deficiency will arise as per ASN revised. Therefore, no surplus or deficiency will arise as per ASN revised. Okay. Now, option A. Here, for first 4 years, depreciation will be provided by. Here, for first 4 years, depreciation will be provided by WDV method, and from 5th year by SLM method. Understood this? And option B. Here, for first 4 years, depreciation will be provided by SLM method, and from 5th year by WDV method. Understood this, everyone?
Yes.
So all the practical questions are over, now only theory is to be seen, right? Stay. Can you come on this last second bench and read it? Page number 7. Depreciation as per Schedule 11 of Companies Act 2013 and guidance notes thereon. Now this all theory can come because from unit 2, now God knows how they make a question of 15 marks because they have not included question on changes in method of depreciation. Where you make the machine safer side, will solve one question tomorrow. Where in the past we have changed the method, we'll solve one question if the changes are done, then how to make the ledger account. Okay. They have not included question on revaluation. So it's a big question now, how will they ask it in exam for 15 marks? So theory you have to. Okay. Yes, say depreciation as per Schedule 11 of Companies Act 2013 and guidance notes. So underline. Last sentence, the Schedule 2 prescribes that useful life of an asset shall not be ordinarily different from useful life specified in Schedule. Means now Companies Act has made Schedule 2, and for every class of asset they have defined the useful life. We are providing SLM method. Like for plant and machinery, suppose they mentioned the useful life is to be taken 10 years. Then you have to take useful life only 10 years. You cannot take different from that. And scrap value you can take less than 5%, but you cannot take more than 5% of original cost in any of the situations. So in case, if you provide a different useful life than this one specified in schedule, or if you provide more than 5% residual value, then you have to make a disclosure in your financial statement to the shareholders, and that disclosure should be based on technical advice. Means you have to give the proof and evidence. Why do you feel that the useful life is different than the schedule? And why do you feel that residual value is more than 5%? So, underline, a company adopts different then at the end of the line, provide justification duly supported by technical advice. So, if different useful life is taken or different residual value is taken more than 5%, then you have to give a disclosure and you have to provide justification supported by. Now that Schedule 14 of Companies Act 1956 is replaced by Schedule 2 of Companies Act 2013. And then the last sentence, electricity companies will continue to charge depreciation in accordance with electricity. Like we did in this question, imported asset which has a separate useful life of 2 years, so it is determined separately. And like the whole two sentences. What is component accounting? Companies will need to identify and depreciate significant components with different useful lives separately. So you have to find different useful life components and depreciate them separately, like we did in this last question of activity. Hitherto means up till now. Up till now it was not applied. So maybe in your past books of accounts, separate cost and component is not available. So in case in your books of accounts, component part cost is not available separately, then you look at the invoice which was at the time of purchase. If it provides the breakup of the cost, then you can get the idea from that. If you don't have that, then you take the technical experts' advice how much will be the components part in that. And even if that is not available, then you find out presently in the market what will that component cost separately and what will the other assets cost separately, and same proportion you may apply to historical cost. Now 1st April 2015 it has become mandatory that component should be depreciated separately. It should not be applied only on new assets. It has to be applied even on old assets. And then the Schedule 2 requires separate depreciation only for parts of an item for intangible fixed assets having significant cost and different useful life from remaining part of the assets. and all of them will be depreciated as per their own useful. So technicals are, experts are required because identifying the parts is not a job of an accountant. Accountant may not be having a knowledge which part is completely useful and which part is not. So this is something which requires the combined efforts of accountant as well as technical expert. So any component which is very small value, less than 5% value, then you may need not identify it separately. Anything will be considered as material or significant if its value is at least more than 5% of the original cost. And then these two sentences. A component having original cost equal to or less than 5% of original cost of an asset may not be material, and a component having original cost equal to 5% or more of the original cost of complete asset may be material. Starting threshold means starting point.
To determine whether a component is material or
And
significant.
like this also. So it differs from company to company. You can take 5% or you can take 10%. And like this. If the useful life of the component is lower than the useful life of principal asset as per schedule 2, then such lower useful life should use as many years. Like this component 500 useful life was 2 years, which was less than the principal asset 2500 useful life. So we take that lower one, 2 years, and accordingly we provided depreciation. Now, suppose this 2500 plant had a life of 10 years. But this component imported asset has a life of 12 years. Then company has a choice. 500 component, either they can depreciate for 10 years or for 10 years. What would the company do? If they feel that this component they can use with the new machinery after 10 years, then they provide depreciation for 12 years. And if they feel that even this component, when they purchase a new machine, they'll replace that, then they'll provide depreciation for 10 years. As I told you right now, even after 10 years, you expect that you use the component with the new asset for the next 2 years. Then you can depreciate over 12 years. And if you expect a new machine when you purchase, you don't want to use any old component with that, then you'll provide depreciation for 10 years. So see here, if the component has lower useful life than the principal asset, then always depreciate over that lower life. If a component has higher useful life than the principal asset, then the company has a choice. Either they can take the useful life of principal asset or they can take the higher one. Generally, when would they take the higher one? If they expect to use the component even after the principal asset's life is over. Okay?
To illustrate, assume
So, did you underline the main points in this paragraph? What did I make you underline?
That's
Okay.
it.
So, underline from that point until the end. From that point underline until the end everything. Okay? Understood this everyone? Further. Now here no confusion. Principal assets life is how much?
less than
10 years.
10 years.
And component?
8 years.
8 years. So you provide depreciation on component for 8 years.
12 years.
Now component has?
12 years.
Now company has a choice. Either they can take
10
12 years or they can take 10 years. When will they take 12 years?
When they further, if they are
If
using.
they expect to use a component even after the principal asset. Read that last sentence. However, if the component has
However,
either 10 years life, insert or 12 years. Or 12 years. As may be prescribed.